Using tables to organize information goes back a ways. A long time ago, 3 or 4 thousand years ago, Sumerians were using tables to calculate compound interest. Even so, tables are not obsolete. In fact, HTML5 includes extensive facilities for describing or building tables. So tables are used to organize data in tabular format, rows and columns of cells. You can put a variety of data like text, images, forms, links, and even other tables in your table. Here is a list of all the table elements we will be learning in this lesson. So we will use these elements to build our table as we go. So the first element is the table element. So this element defines a table in HTML. It used to have attributes such as border, but they have all been deprecated as the same can be achieved through CSS. So CSS properties that may be especially useful to style the table element are width. This is to control the width of the table, border, border style, border color, border width, border collapse, border spacing are used to control the aspect of cell borders, rules, and frame. And margin and padding to style the individual cell content. Text align and vertical align to define the alignment of text and cell content. So the caption element is used to give a title to a table, and for best practice should be used as the first child of table. So it can be used to provide more context of the table if the table's content is ambiguous. So as a summary of the table content, a caption can also be helpful for people who have difficulty understanding the content or who use assistive technology. So here is an example of its usage. So here you can see that we use the table element, and the first child is the caption element with its title, Table 1.0, and Students' Final Exam Results 2022. So next elements are the TR, TH, TD, call group, call elements. So the TR element is used to create a table row. So when you need to insert rows in your table, then you use this element, TR element. The TH element is used to create table header cells. So the content of table header cells is bold and centered by default. So here is an example of how you can use the TR element. So this is used to create rows, and the TH for header cells. Also, we have the attributes for the TH element that you can use. So first is that we have the call span attribute. So this is used to specify the number of cells you want that column to span or to cover. So here is an example of how you can use that. Here inside so along with the TH element, so you use the call sign attribute and you give it a positive integer number. So let's look at an example for that at CodePen. So here's how you can create a table, this kind of table, with 2 rows in each column. So to create a table, you need the table element, and then to create rows, here we have the TR element. And here, with the th element, we use the call span attribute with a value of 2. So as you can see here in this column, the name column covers 2 rows, since we declared here that we want 2 rows for this column. Another attribute is the row span. It is used to specify the number of cells you want the row to cover. So the same with call span. Here we can put positive integer number as a value for the row span attribute. So let's see an example of that, example 2. So here we have 2 rows. So as we create a table, we insert table rows using tr element, and here you can notice that we use the row span attribute with a value of 3. And the next attribute is the scope. So it specifies if a header cell is the header for a row, column, row group, or call group. So possible values could be row, column, and row group, call group, and auto. So this is how you can use the scope attribute. So if the scope attribute is not specified, then browsers automatically select the set of cells to which the header cell applies. So let's look at an example of that. So here in the title, we use inside the th element, the table header, we use the scope attribute with a value of row. And as you can see in the result, the titles here, the header here, are put in rows.